Algorithms are quickly taking over many aspects of our lives, and many people see this as an improvement. No longer will we have to rely on human judgment and allow human bias to enter a decision-making process, right? Actually, while algorithms are seen as scientific and fair, they're often just as biased as their creators and the society in which they operate. There are many types of algorithmic bias. Bias can stem from the conscious or unconscious bias of an algorithm's creator, through the design of the algorithm or how it is used. Bias can also arise from data used to create the algorithm. Data has to be collected, and that process is rarely perfect, so data ends up reflecting the values and priorities of those collecting it. As a result, the data may be unrepresentative of the population, causing the algorithm to make biased decisions. However, even with the perfect methods, pre-existing real-world biases still affect the data. And since algorithms are often designed to work well for the majority, they underserve minority groups. Let's look at the famous PREDPOL algorithm that uses artificial intelligence to predict where and when specific crimes are most likely to occur. It allows police departments to strategically locate officers to areas that the algorithm determines as having a high risk of crime. This may seem beneficial, especially after seeing crimes like burglaries drop, but there are two problems. One, that the historical data is affected by both societal factors and human bias, and two, that the algorithm is putting more police in Black and brown communities, making it more likely that community members are subjected to excessive use of force by law enforcement or forced to deal with a system that continues to hand out harsher sentences to Black and brown people. PREDPOL often isn't just used to predict crimes like burglary, rape, assault, or murder. It also predicts minor offenses like public intoxication, vagrancy, and small drug sales or consumption. If a cop wasn't there to observe these happen, most would not be called into the police or recorded in any way. This is common in wealthy white communities. Due to the legacy of systemic racism and oppression in our country, low-income communities, especially Black communities, are often plagued by these minor crimes, leading to arrests and fines that simply harm already struggling individuals. Black communities are also historically over-policed and targeted by police, leading to much higher arrest numbers for minor crimes, especially drug-related crimes. This is the historical data that companies like PREDPOL use. In 2016, the White House published a report stating that, quote, "Big data analytics have the potential to eclipse long-standing civil rights protections in how personal information is used in housing, credit, employment, health, education, and the marketplace." However, more recently, the Trump administration has proposed changes to the Fair Housing Act that would allow for discriminatory outcomes in housing in some cases where algorithms are involved in the decisions. This includes any cases where a third-party algorithm is standard in the industry and being used for its intended purpose. The claim that algorithms are neutral is not just false, it is dangerous. Algorithmic bias needs to be recognized, and companies that build inequitable algorithms need to be held accountable.